Hello, hello, hello. I hope everyone is doing well on this June 1st day. So I've got some weird sun coming in right here. I've got mini blinds and it's peeking through a little oddly. But I hope everybody's doing good. Got the Duncan and I've got the Dexter here. They're both resting after having a really intense, fun running and barking kind of day. But I hope everybody is having a good Sunday evening. Oh, super. We're jumping right in. So, in about 5 minutes, we will start with our first healing pulse. But Colleen has put her issue in chat. And so, fabulous. I just need to double check because I've got people in Facebook, I've got people in YouTube. So I'm just double checking because the system I pay for is supposed to merge text. And as long as I'm checking things, can everyone hear me? Because sometimes that is an issue with my system. So if you could just put yes in chat that you can hear me, that would be greatly appreciated. Okay, so I'm looking to see. You know, sometimes when you do things before you get started, it doesn't do any good because I had checked all my settings. So let's see. So I'm just checking to see if my chat. Okay. All right. Okay. So let me get back to chat. Oh, good. So Facebook can hear me. Oh, and my screen finally refilled. Okay, so today is show number 176. So it looks like, so I've got, so Colleen, I'm going to put you down first. You want to look at bloating and slow lymphatic. There's Valerie, welcome, and Harmonious. Amanda. All right, so Harmonious, I'm putting you down. Manifesting. Good job. And all the moods. All right, so I'm seeing there's Pamela. Oh, and there's Sissy. Welcome. And clean. Sometimes healthy food causes the bloat because it's just how it is. And there's Angel Knight. And there's Carolina. Wonderful. So everybody ran out. Now everybody's coming back. Come here, Dexter. Sit down. Amanda, that is a great one to remove. And remove fear. And let's see, Angel Knight. Process of getting things ready to move. Oh, sounds like a lot of work and stress. Thank goodness for Jeffrey. You two are lucky to have each other. All right, so I'm going to put Angel Night. Let me know what Jeffrey wants to work on too. So Angel Night, healing throat, body, stress. Okay, so let's start with our first healing pulse. So the healing pulse is a form of energy work. It is my own creation. I really like it because it goes to where you direct it to go. And it can go to physical things, it can go to emotional things, but part of it is you need to figure out where you want to receive it. All right, and Valerie's got some weird ear pain. And so with this, so if you feel something emotional, or like Amanda wants to work on releasing fear, and with that, think about, where does fear live, Amanda? Is it something you feel in your gut? Or does it make your chest tight and you breathe in shallow? Or is it more of like a mental thing where your mind does crazy things? So whether it's physical or emotional, or maybe you don't have a place, I suggest, if you don't have a place, send to your head or your heart. All right, Jeffrey, going to add strength. And so to get started, I want you to rub your hands together until they're warm. And then I want you to place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. Imagine my hands on yours. And here's the most important part. You need to allow the energy to flow, because the energy is flowing from your hands, but they're also flowing from my hands. And if you're sensitive, some people will feel more of a tingle. Some people feel hot. Some people feel cold. Not everybody experiences this, but it's one of those that the more you do things, sometimes the more it frees blocks and allows things to flow. Because I know when I first started learning about Reiki, I didn't really feel much at all. And that was like 2009. But if you just allow that energy to flow and just trust, and just imagine as you're breathing in, the healing will go a little deeper, a little further. As you're breathing out, imagine that you are releasing. So just breathe in, breathe out. In and out. Okay, so that was our first healing pulse. We will do another couple healing pulses before the end, and then usually we'll end with like aura strengthening, which is helpful too. All right, so clean, bloating, and a slow lymphatic system. So let's see, because this part will focus on if there's trapped emotions that are contributing to that. And so I've got my little list. Sometimes I use a small list for trapped emotions of 60, but most of the time I use a list that has over 400. And so we'll just see. And Valerie's noting that she's yawning already. Yawn is a form of sort of like a tell, where you can tell people are experiencing energy when they yawn. And it's because you're releasing space so that the healing can go deeper. Oh, and there's Amy. Welcome. All right, so let's just see what comes up for Colleen. And I'm getting the energy of smug. And let me get an age, and this might make sense to you, Colleen. Ages are the hardest thing, but usually I can get it within about a year. Getting like 13. So plus or minus a year would mean like 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there. So some type of event where you were really smug. And, you know, especially when you're that age, I think sometimes you have good days, sometimes you've got bad days. And so maybe the smugness was you were just over the top smug. But hopefully that type of event or energy will come to you. The good thing is I'm getting with this, we don't have to know exactly what it is, but I'm going to release the energy of that. And so if you have healing in your background, I always ask your support because sometimes there's residual. And if you help, it makes it even better. If you don't have healing in your background, but you pray either to God, source, higher power, say a prayer that anything you can do to assist me will be done. So we're releasing smug as a from Colleen. And I'm getting that released. If you are fairly new, let me just grab something here. Oh, it wasn't the book I was looking for. A lot of the work I do is from the book The Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson, although I've sort of gone beyond that because I became certified in that in, gosh, I can't remember, 2015 or 2013, but I started using his tools in 2010. And since then, I've sort of gone beyond because I like learning something thoroughly and then tweaking it so it helps my clients and me and my family even better. All right, so next is Harmonious. Harmonious wants to work on manifesting a good job. So I'm going to see, because sometimes we're better really pushing and imbuing the positive. Other times there's like a negative trapped emotion that's causing maybe you not to be as positive. Maybe it's causing you not to be as articulate. And that's especially important as you're writing cover letters or interviewing. So we're going to see what's the best for Harmonious. So we're going to focus on negative trapped emotions. And Colleen's just commenting she needs to think about what it possibly could be. And oftentimes with people, it does sort of pop in. And usually it's sort of like a first thought of a random thought just comes in. And usually that is an accurate thought. Okay, so. And it says the energy of mocked. Mocked. And I think this isn't you mocking, it's someone mocking you. And so that can often cause some insecurities. And so let's release that. Let me get an age though. You're like 16. So let's get rid of that, because it, especially as you're putting yourself out there for new jobs and interviewing, you want your confidence to be at an ultimate high. So we're going to release and remove the energy of mocked. So I'm getting that released. All right, Amanda. Amanda's dealing with some fears. So with this, I do this a little differently, where sometimes when you have a trapped emotion, sometimes you keep attracting similar situations, and it causes you to be super sensitive because you just have too many unprocessed trapped emotions. And so with this, so I'm going to find how many layers of fear we can release. And the thing with layers of emotions, there will be layers we can't remove, layers you're not ready to remove, or sometimes they're hidden or buried, or many different words that sort of keep things tapped down. But we'll release as many as we can. And it's my hope that instead of being super hypersensitive, where the fears are way up here, it drops down and you're more neutral, good, harmonious. I really do hope that helps as you're putting yourself out there and being confident. All right, so let's see, how many layers of fear does Amanda have? Six. All right, so let's check. Can I release all six? Yes. Do I need to do them separately? No. Okay, so this takes a little bit longer, and especially with doing this many, Amanda, I would need your assistance. So we're going to release and remove fear. 6 layers. So 1 through 3 have been released. Okay, releasing 4. Yes. 5. Yes. 6. Yes. And with anything that I release, I also automatically will send healing energy to fill in any voids. That could also be something that, if you want, you could use the healing pulse for too. Okay. All right, so next is Angel Knight. And hang on just a moment. Dexter is here scratching on my knee. Come here. What's going on? Huh? Oh, and now a dog barks, so he thinks he's got to go run. Are you going to be nice? Okay. All right, so Angel Knight, healing throat, body, stress. Let's just see. Is that one group for Angel Knight? Yeah. Okay, so we can do the healing throat, body, stress from all this going on with you. So let's double check. Is there a trapped emotion that's making it worse? Yes. Okay, so let's see what that is, and we'll release that. And now they're outside barking. Can you guys hear dogs barking? I can hear Duncan in the background. They've been really good all day, of course. So, Angel Knight, I'm getting the word uneasy. Let me get an age and see if that helps you. You were like 24. So 23, 24, 25. Oh, that's too bad. So if I do things through Zoom, Zoom has some sort of behind the scenes setting where they can be just barking their little fool heads off and AI blocks it. But yeah, this system that I pay for to stream is not that smart. Okay, so Angel Knights were releasing Uneasy from around age 24. So somewhere 23, 24, 25. So let's go ahead and release that. Okay. And Faith, I'm going to add you. Faith Unbroken. Okay, so double checking. The energy of Uneasy that did release Angel Knight. Wow. So, Amanda, if you're incredibly sensitive, having that many layers of fear, I could see you being easily triggered by things that wouldn't normally trigger someone without your sensitivities. And so that I could see that being really annoying because it's not something you can really help. But I'm hoping that it with that releasing, that your fears become more, what's the word, normalized, or where your levels are similar to people around you. I do feel most females have more fear than men, and unfortunately it's just how it is because there's just so much violence against women that there we have to be on alert, which is very, very frustrating. All right, so Jeffrey, you are next. And Jeffrey's really doing a fabulous job helping his mom move and pack. And so he wants some strength. So let's see. So I'm going to check in and see with Jeffrey, is it best to imbue and strengthen his strength? Or is it best to look and see, is there like a trapped emotion that's sort of defeating the strength level he has? And so let's see which one it is. And with him, we're going to release a trapped emotion because that is more powerful for his situation right now. And so this doesn't come up too often, but we have, Jeffrey's got a trapped emotion that's inherited. And so let me see if this is if this is also affecting his mom. And I do get yes. So let's see. And with this, inherited trapped emotions are generally through the bloodline, through generations. And so I'm going to see where it came from. And so we'll see, did it come from mom? No. Did it come from dad? So dad's side of the family. And then we'll look and see, did it start with dad? No. Did it start with dad's parents? No. Did it start with dad's grandparents? Yes. So, Jeffrey, that would be like your great grandparents, which not a lot of families know their great grandparents. But if you do, let's see, was it grandma? So it was grandma. And it's the energy of insecurity. And with this, so something serious happened where grandma felt really insecure, and then it gets passed on through the bloodline, and it doesn't always hit everyone, although it can, but it doesn't always. And so it would affect aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters. And so we're going to set the intention that we're going to release the energy of insecurity from the entire bloodline. And so, Angel Night, I'm getting that you got this too. You inherited it. So it's being released from you also. So releasing and removing the energy of insecurity from Jeffrey's lineage. Going back to, or no, let me take that back, because this is Jeffrey's father. So this did not affect Angel Night. Yeah, because that wouldn't make sense, because this is bloodline versus past life kind of thing, which is good. None of us need extra insecurity in our life, right? And so let me just double check. Did that release from Jeffrey? Yes. So, and now I've got Duncan here. So here's little Duncan. He's going to sit down and help. He likes it when we do energy stuff. So let's see. I am getting that did release. And we're going to do our next healing pulse. When we come back, we're going to work on Valerie and Faith. If you have come in and have not, excuse me, have not put anything in chat and would like to, feel free to do that. All right, so if you were here for the first healing pulse, typically people feel a stronger energy for the second and third healing pulse. But if you have come in late, let me tell you how we're doing it. So I want you to think about where you want to receive the energy, whether it's somewhere physical or it's some type of an emotional place that you're wanting to work on. And so with the emotions, think about, like, if you're feeling extra sad, where does that sadness live in your body? And Amy, I've got ears. So otherwise, if you've got any pain, like Amy with your left ankle pain, I would want you to put your hands there. So, but right before you place your hands, rub your hands together, get that healing energy flowing. Place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. Imagine my hands on yours and just breathe in that healing energy. Just breathe it in. Open and allowing. Imagine with each breath in, you are allowing the healing energy to flow, going a little deeper, a little further. With each breath out, you are releasing, open and allowing, and releasing. Okay, so that was the healing pulse number 2. Let me know how you did. I'm going to do just a short little commercial. So if anyone has any questions about my private sessions, feel free to sign up for one of my free consultations. It's free through Zoom. Usually they last about a half an hour, where I'll answer any questions that you have. And I also do past life regression. I call it metaphysical hypnosis, and it's typically the Dolores Cannon method, QHHT, although I also am certified in something called BQH. And that amazing and exciting things happen with that. But I am always changing and adding and trying out new things. And what my summer is looking like for new things is I've been hearing a lot about somatic therapy, which is different than the emotional therapy. So I have these somatic therapy exercise cards, and I can't remember how many cards there is. There's like 50, but these are more physical type of healing things. Like there's chanting and breath work and connecting to nature, and there's different movements and things like that. So I'm sort of playing around with this in addition to my regular healing sessions. But I'm also thinking maybe next week I will do like another little free thing, because when I have new stuff going on, it really helps me to do practice things live like I'm doing today and get feedback on things. I know I've pulled cards for a few people from my Reiki Share group, and no one seemed to be too terribly impressed with this. So I'm curious if if it was just a bad night. And then my other thing, so I got a tuning fork, and there are quite a few different decks. Quite a few. Well, I think there's like a four in a set that I had access to. I just got one. This is the 128 hertz. But I'm curious. So with this, I would like to know, if I do this and I send and attach energy work to this, do you guys feel it? Or is this only, I mean, my impression is this is typically a tool that I need to use for in-person clients. And most of my clients are distance from Zoom. But I've realized, well, look at the Healing Pulse. It doesn't work for everyone, but it works for quite a few people. What if this would work from a distance? So I'm thinking of doing like a little practice session using this, and then also pulling the somatic therapy card. Does that interest anyone here if I was to do it like at the end of this week about the same time? And it's free, of course. So let me know what you think of that. So I'm going to go through, because I've got a couple things we need to. So there's Donna. So Carolina. Fear. Entire body. Emotionally. Therically. Generations. Low energy. Generational low. That's quite a bit of things there, Carolina. But we'll see what comes up first. That might be more of a private session kind of thing. Oh, good. And Valerie's yawning some more. Sissy's yawning too. Oh, Amanda's got some feedback about the healing pulse. She put hands on her head for both healing pulses, and her head feels very warm at both times. Fabulous, Amanda. Love hearing that feedback. And Colette is here. Just glad you're here, Colette. I'm still working on individual healing, so if you have something you want to work on, just put it in the comments. So Harmonious has a fork too. cool. And Valerie's interested in too. So I'm thinking maybe later this week I might do that. Oh, and Faith said her back warmed with the pulse. Good. So, and how I understand the healing pulse works through my years of sort of playing around with it, it's my own personal healing frequencies plus an energy called Shambhala. And sometimes it can shift and change. But what it does is it goes to, like, if you're in pain, it goes to the pain first. If there's energy left over, it will go to the root cause. And so if you have a lot of things going on, and sometimes it can't cover all the pain, but sometimes it can. And sometimes the underlying cause is small. And so when that happens, it's like magic and it just goes. But all of it sort of depends. And stress is a trigger that can bring things back. But the nice thing is, I like doing it here because I'm hoping it gives you at least a small reprieve. I'm hoping it gets a much bigger reprieve, but it all sort of depends. So Valerie's got some ear pain. I was thinking about this book. So I'm a little obsessed with tools and books, if you haven't noticed. So this is something, the Healing Questions Guide. So I'm going to just see. Sometimes I'm curious. It's got quite a bit of different things. But none of them say pain. Itching, water, hearing, wax, drainage, infection. But it has 5 main questions to think about. First one, what or who am I refusing to understand? Because oftentimes when you've got certain things going on, sometimes it's more of like a metaphor. What will it take for me to be more accepting of others and their circumstances? What will it take for me to use more patience? What do I need to do to speak in a way that others will listen and understand? What value is there in refusing to listen to others? But this does not really talk about pain. So here's something to also consider is sometimes there is just the ear discomfort with the frequencies, and sometimes it's ascension symptoms. I have an app that I use to look at the Schumann resonance. Sometimes it's the energy is really flowing. And tonight there is supposed to be Aurora Borealis, Northern Lights, and it's supposed to be available quite a few places. I'm in northern Minnesota, and it's supposed to be going quite a bit further south than typical. And so if you're sensitive to energies and frequencies, it wouldn't surprise me if things get harder tonight for you. So all things to think about, but let's see with Valerie, since those questions didn't seem to be the most helpful. So let's see, I am getting that there is a trapped emotion that is contributing to it. So let's see what that is, because I really want to see if we can reduce that for Valerie. Getting misused. So let's let me at an age for that. And so if it is frequency related, sometimes it's working with your spiritual team and saying, hey, team, can you tweak the frequency so it's not so loud or screechy or high or low, or, really let them know that it's quite bothersome, and see if that helps. So something about when you were 22, Valerie, so 21, 22, 23. So let's go ahead and release that. So Valerie's a healer too, so she's going to help release that. So releasing and removing. So that did release. Good. And then Colette. Hot flashes at 68. So sometimes hot flashes are not menopausal. Sometimes it's adrenal. Sometimes it's something else. But we'll see what we can do. Very irritating, though. I can relate, Colette. All right. Faith wants to work on removing blockages. So let's see. So we're going to focus on one main type of block, and we'll see what that is. Yeah, you'll have to let me know, Valerie, if that rings a bell. Okay, so let's see. With Faith, so Faith, it's the energy of doubtful. And so typically with this, it's some type of event or experience. Oftentimes it's an event that's short term, but sometimes it's more long term. So let's see if I can get an age for you, Faith. Wow, you were little. I'm getting 9. So like 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. So, and usually at that age, you've got more trust, but with doubtful being there, I wonder if your young life was rather uncertain. So we're going to go through and release the energy of that doubtful energy. And so just lend support and release too. So that did release. So we're going to do our third healing pulse. On deck, I've got Amy, Carolina, and Colette. And so with the third one, some people, the third one is like the most intense. Other people, it's number 2. But just be open to the energies. And even if you don't really feel it, just let it flow. Okay? All right, so rub your hands together. Place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energies. Imagine my hands on yours. And just allow that energy to flow. Breathing in the healing. Breathing out your releasing. And if you have experienced, if you've done like breath work and that is a practice that resonates with you, this is something that you can do quite easily. So oftentimes I'll suggest people do the box breath if they find breath work helpful. Okay. Very nice. So that was Healing Pulse number 2. So let me know how you did. And I had missed a comment that Valerie had. So Valerie's got the problem with the pitchiness in the ears, and it can be painful. And so she said, I do ask when high pitched if the message/pitch can be adjusted, and it stopped. So, and part of it is just sort of remembering to do that, because especially if you go for a period of time that you don't have pitch problems, you sort of forget about things. All right, so Amy is next. So Amy has issues with her she's got left ankle pain. And so I'm hoping that the Healing Pulse has helped you, Amy. So let's see, because sometimes things are drawn to certain areas due to trapped emotions. And so I'm getting that you do have a trapped emotion that is contributing to that problem with that left ankle. So let's see what it is. I like to see huge yawns. It's amazing. It's the energy of being unimportant. And so, how trapped emotions work is normally your body will process and release an emotion. But sometimes, sometimes due to a traumatic event, sometimes you've got just other things going on. Sometimes your body doesn't process that emotion. So instead of releasing the energy of the emotion, that stays in your body. And so with this, Amy, I'm getting the energy of unimportant. Good, Amy. I'm glad that the Healing Pulse was pulsing for your ankle. Let me get an age for you. Give me like 29. So somewhere 28, 29, 30. Something happened where you felt unimportant. So let's release that, because that's never a good feeling. So releasing and removing unimportant. Just allow that to let go. Okay, that did release. All right, so Carolina, you are next. So you've got quite a few things here. So let me focus on what is most important. We're going to focus on the fear. So let's see. How many layers of fear do you have that we can release? So I'm getting 12, but 12 sort of a lot, especially during a mini healing. So let's see, can we release all 12? No. And so with this, so I haven't really talked about, so the Healing Pulse, I used to say, if you want to use the Healing Pulse at a different time, imagine I'm giving you a suitcase with healing pulses, and you just need to open up your suitcase and use them. And so that could be the case here. So Carolina, even if you don't have healing in your background, I want you to use the healing pulse, or if you are a healer, really focus on using your own personal healing frequencies on clearing layers. Let me see how many layers we can clear, because there's 12 that can be released, but that's too many for right now. Let's see. We can release half, so we can release 6. And so you'll need to work on the other 6. All right, so I'm going to focus on releasing and removing 6 of the trapped emotions. Fear. Releasing and removing fear. So 1 and 2 have been released. 3 and 4 have been released. 5 and 6 have been released. All right, so you've got, so I think, so we just did 6. I'd like you to wait till tomorrow and release the other 6. Okay, Colette is next. Hot flashes at 68. That just sounds so annoying. I'm getting there is some type of emotional connection. So let's see what that is. Wrong page. So it's the word muddled. Let me get an age. We'll see if that makes sense. But when I think of the word muddled, I think of it more like a confused. Let's see what the definition is. Just because it's not a word I typically use, or even confused, disorganized, in disarray. So it looks like my interpretation was fairly accurate. Muddled things are all mixed up and confused. Your mind might feel muddled when you first wake up from a long nap. All right, so let's release that, but I just need to get the age for Colette. Getting around age 43, Colette, so 42, 43, 44. I can totally understand. So let's go ahead and release muddled and how that affects you. So that did release. Oh, and Angel Knight is asking about good luck, bad luck. We could. I'm looking to see. Yeah, because we did that May 1st, so we can do that. All right, so good luck, bad luck is a sort of a cool thing. So the premise is you've got 2 buttons. You've got a good luck button and you've got a bad luck button. So with good luck, the good luck should be on and the bad luck should be off. So I had a client talking to me about luck. And so she got into a car accident. She got rear-ended. And so, but luckily, it wasn't bad. It was still drivable and insurance covered it. So the bad luck is on because that's what got her hit. The good luck is on because it wasn't bad. She really wasn't hurt at all. I was surprised she didn't really even have whiplash because we did some work on that. But she was okay. And then the same week, she dropped. Did she drop her phone? Her phone broke. And you know how that goes. Super expensive with the new phones today. But it was under warranty. So she didn't have to pay a thing. So here's how the bad luck. So the bad luck, because the phone broke. Can't remember if she dropped it or if it just there was some problem. But the good luck was that it was still under warranty. And so with this, you want your good luck to be on and you want the bad luck to be off. And so if anybody wants me to check on for you, just put a 1 in the comments. And Colette, thank you for that feedback about muddled. And it seems like the longer I do this, the regulars get more on track. But a sign that you need a private session is when your bad luck just doesn't stay off. All right, so Harmonious, Faith, Amanda, Valerie, Amy, Clean. All right, and if you're still thinking about it, that's fine. You can just put a 1 in the comments when you decide. And if you don't, that's okay too. Just making sure I didn't miss anybody because I sometimes do that. Oh, you're right. Yes, I need to put Angel Knight in there, and then I'm going to put Jeffrey too, since she's the one that asked for it. Thank you, Harmonious. I'm going to add Sissy. Okay, so let's see. All right, so I'm just going to go through and check and see if their good luck is on. Oh my gosh, I think this is a first. Everybody's good luck button was on. Fabulous. Love that. All right, so let's see about the bad luck. So the bad luck, you don't want that turned on. So I'm going to check and see, is the bad luck off? Sissy, your bad luck is on. Everybody else is off. Oh, and there's Anne-Marie. Welcome, Anne-Marie. Let's check with Anne-Marie. Because I think last time Anne-Marie had some issues. So definitely want to see. All right, so is Anne-Marie's good luck on? Yes. Yay, Anne-Marie. Okay, so is Anne-Marie's bad luck button off? No. Anne Marie, you need to do some more energy work on yourself. Anne Marie's a healer too. We need to make sure that that bad luck button stays off. All right, so we're going to work on Sissy and Anne Marie, and we're going to, yes, I did do Jeffrey and Angel Knight, and both of you are good. So the only two we've got are Sissy and Anne Marie. We need to turn the bad luck off. So we're going to focus on Sissy and Anne Marie turning off the bad luck. Okay, so I'm going to check back in. Did Sissy's bad luck button turn off? Yes. Did Anne Marie's bad luck button turn off? Yes. Okay. Are they going to stay off? So just pay attention too, because sometimes you'll know. It's like, okay, things are going pretty smooth, but like my friend with the car accident and then her broken phone, because she was just really lucky that her good luck button was on, because I mean, getting rear-ended could have been pretty bad. So yeah, so cool. Thank you for asking about that, Angel Knight. I know you enjoy knowing where you're at, and I sort of get a kick out of it too. So next, let's do aura strengthening. And the nice thing about aura strengthening is it helps repel negativity. And as you know, there's a lot of negativity out there. And so with this, you can do it just with your own energy, or if you want, you can pull in the healing pulse energy. Wow. Thank you for that update, Harmonious. Very important to have that good luck button. All right, so with this, what we want to do is we want to rub our hands together, and then we want to send energy to your aura. And so I do it this way, where I beam out, and I just imagine my aura becoming thicker, more protective. And I also put in a hint of reflectivity, so that if someone's spewing some hateful stuff, that it bounces back to them. You don't want to do like a full mirror, because you don't want people to run into you, because you're not entirely visible, especially walking or driving. So that's why I say a hint of reflectivity. And then I want you to think about, what do you need today? There's like Harmonious looking for a job, or maybe she's got some interviews set up. So I know in certain circumstances, sometimes I want to be really super articulate and able to be understandable and intelligent, especially if you're interviewing for jobs, you're writing cover letters, you're filling out applications. You want everything just to be smooth. And so I'm going to fill in my bubble with especially being articulate and understanding. So you're understanding of what's needed. And so think about what you need. There's a few of you, like Jeffrey needs strength. You can fill up your bubble with strength and have it assist you, because you've got some stressful days with moving. So just keep sending it out. You are very welcome, Anne Marie. I'm just glad you came, because especially with that bad luck button, it was worthwhile for you to just show up at the end and do that. Okay. So that was tonight's mini healing. Does anyone have any questions? So I'm thinking I'll have to look and see. Probably the end of the week I don't always like doing things on the weekend. But yeah, just because for me it's evenings are easier, although every once in a while I think maybe I should do like a morning one. But yeah, so I'm thinking of doing just a little freebie experiment that we're going to work on somatic therapy exercise cards. And with these, what I would do is pull a card for each of you. And so I would suggest having your phones available to take pictures because I'll hold it up to the screen so I'll just show you like one. So here's like a vocal toning. So the front looks like this, but the back looks like this. And so it sort of gives instructions or reminders. And so if you take a picture of both sides, then you could work on that. So I'm just seeing. So Harmonious says, miss me for a couple months. Yeah, it's the timing the last couple months has been a little off too. So I'm glad that people have found me. Amanda's happy she caught tonight's show too. Sissy's wanting to know if your friend has passed and comes through in your dreams. So with all the past life regressions that I've done, we truly never die. You know, we're either here in physical form or we're on the other side. And so I do think that especially when someone comes to you in your dreams, you know, it might be them connecting with you, but it also might be that you're, you know, thinking about them. So I don't always know about dreams, but as far as death goes, I've actually gotten a lot more comfortable with the thought of it. And just, yeah, after hearing about so many people's past lives and their themes and their differences, it's just, I mean, it's still not easy, but yeah, it's not as hard for me as it was. So I'm not really sure about that, Sissy, because it might be you, but it also might be your friend. So I will post something on Facebook and YouTube. I'm expecting probably closer to the end of the week, and probably won't be doing too much of the trapped emotions unless there's really a super small group. But thank you everyone for coming. And as always, if you want to set up a free consultation, just go to my website, which is on the bottom of the page at csummerjones.com. And I will hope to see you soon. But have a good night. Bye.